friends, welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've posted a sort of vlog video. I had mentioned that I wasn't gonna do any more vlogs, but I have been reading a lot lately and I have been collecting a lot of books. Me and my partner recently started a little library in our living room and we bought like 3 bookshelves. And we're excited to fill that up. So we've been getting some books and I figured that I would just make a vlog about it as we fill up our bookshelf and just maybe show you all what I've been reading lately. It is my favorite time of the year right now. It is fall officially. I hope that you don't all mind about the shifts in the videos. I am drinking some cafecito, some coffee with a little dash of cinnamon, and it's so yummy. It is a pretty windy morning and I love it. It is really cozy. There's still sun out, but it is pretty windy today, which is good. I want to show you all the 2 books that I'm currently reading. And also later on I'm supposed to be getting an order in. I put in an order at Barnes & Noble's for a couple of books that I've been anticipating to read and collect and add to my library, and I'm excited to share those with you all later. I would say these are pretty like fall autumn books that I think are great for this time of the year. So I'm excited to share those with you all later when they get here. I hope they arrive not too late. And also I have some workload to do for as far as like art goes and illustrating, some emails to respond, and just some admin work that I want to do. So I'll probably be running this vlog for like the next couple of days. You'll get to see some of my work that I do behind the screen. The most exciting thing that I have going on right now is the little library that I have been building, and I'll give you a quick little tour of that sometime in this video. I don't have that many books and we bought like some pretty big bookshelves, so we are definitely not even halfway filled through that bookshelf, but I know we'll get there. We figured we just have the extra space because we know we're gonna keep buying books. Anyways, I want to share with you all the 2 books that I'm currently reading right now. Is these 2 little books right here. The first one that I've been currently reading has been the Ray Bradbury book, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I have been wanting to read this book for such a long time, and I recently shared with my Patreons all the current books that I'm reading, but these are my 2 active ones that I'm currently reading. I recently shared with my Patreons how this one I've had for quite some time. I got a collection of Ray Bradbury books for one of my birthdays a couple years ago, and I have not read any of them. But I'm a huge fan of Ray Bradbury because his writing style is very poetic, and I love how he describes certain scenarios, certain settings. I really enjoy his writing style. I'm currently reading Ray Bradbury, Something Wicked This Way Comes. It is pretty good. I will say that for my ADHD brain, sometimes it is a little bit hard to comprehend because his writing style is very poetic. So the most simplest ways of saying something, he writes it and says it in a very poetic way. Sometimes I have to like reread it twice in order for my brain to understand what he's saying. But nonetheless, I really love his writing style. I love poetry. I'm a huge fan of poetry. And so, you know, and to me, this book and a lot of his books from what I've read are very cozy and autumnal. And so obviously to me, I love a good autumnal and cozy book. So I've been really enjoying this one. But if you don't know what Something Wicked This Way Comes, it's basically about, the story follows 2 friends, Jim and Will, who live in this little town, and all of a sudden this circus pops up in their town, and the circus is just mysterious and there's like weird things happening. And of course it takes place in the autumn during the Halloween season, and so it's so cozy and so spooky, and I'm excited to see what the 2 friends get into because they're just trying to discover what is happening in this like spooky circus that just randomly appeared in their town. And then this is a recent pick that I just got, and I have really been enjoying this, and this is called The Gathering Dark, an anthology of folk horror, and this is edited by Tori Bovalino. But like, look at this cover. This cover is everything. I love this cover so much. It is so spooky and so cute. I'm like, look at the back. The back is so cute. But yeah, this is an anthology of folk horror. It's various short stories in this book. Let me tell you that the stories in here are spooky, and they are just perfect for this season. If you are someone who's a fan of horror and also folklore in general, I highly recommend this book. I am such a fan of folklore in general. I love reading folklore in different cultures. I just love the magic that it brings, the mystery that it brings, these characters that all have their own traits and magic, and it's just, I'm such a huge fan of folklore. So anything that has to do with folklore, I am all on it. A lot of my books, I would say, are folklore books. But this short story is really, really great. I haven't read too many short stories, but this is really great if you don't want to like commit to like a whole novel. This is really great to just grab randomly when you want to just refresh your brain and just have like a little refresher in general. So those are the two books that I'm currently reading right now. I am going to give myself maybe like 30 minutes to read, and then I'm gonna get into doing some work. So yeah, I'll just take you along.
We find ourselves starting from scratch, brick by brick. No path carved out for us now. The brush is thick. All I'm asking now, don't give up on love. Don't give up. Don't give up on love. I know that you're tired, my love, but please don't go. There's valleys and mountain tops on this rocky road. All I'm asking now, don't give up on love. Don't give up.
Hi, Kitty Pie. Hi.
Don't give up on love. In sickness or health, for rich or for poor. I meant every word that I told you before. All I'm asking now, don't give up on love. Don't give up myself starting from scratch, brick by brick. No past.
So I just spent the morning reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, and I'm finally at the part where it's starting to pick up in action. I know I mentioned this in some of the previous clips, that it is a little bit hard to keep up with the storyline, just because the way Ray Bradbury writes in general to describe certain scenarios, the synonyms he used, it's just very atmospheric and very poetic. And so for my neurodivergent brain, I have to kind of like sometimes reread certain things to really encapture what he's trying to describe. So I love that about him, don't get me wrong, I love that quality, but when you're reading a whole novel that is written in that sort of format, it is a little bit harder, at least for me, to follow along. Nonetheless, I am still enjoying it just because it is set during October and in this little quaint town, and it's just spooky, and there's like some sinister and mysterious things happening with this carnival that came into town. So I'm finally at the part where there's a lot of action starting to pick up, and you kind of know what's happening at this carnival, and like the little mysterious things that are happening, and the two best friend boys that no one's really believing them about what they're finding out about this carnival. So it's getting good. I'm really determined to finish this by the end of this week. Today is Tuesday. So hopefully I get to finish this. I woke up a little bit early today in the morning just so I can get some reading in before I start work, but I had to put it down. I got ready and I need to get some work done, and hopefully by tonight I can pick this up again and do some more reading. So for now, I am going to get some work done. I need to compile a list of TBR books that I am anticipating to read this fall. So I need to compile that list and kind of, you know, just get prepared for that. And then I also have some admin work to get done. And yeah, so that's kind of the workload that I have going on today, as well as illustrating eventually this week. I don't know if I'll get to that today, but I'm illustrating the October Patreon mailed art print with the sticker. So I'm so excited for that. I already have some ideas brewing for the October Patreon art print that I sent out. October is like my favorite month to do. It's my favorite. So I'm excited to get to that, and yeah, so I'll probably film a little bit short snippets of what I need to get done, and we'll get to reading later on today. I finally finished reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I will say that I'm still such a huge fan of Ray Bradbury, even though I've never really read any of his work before. Like I mentioned in the video, at least I think I did, I pretty much just found out about him because people would always use his quotes, and I would just see them like on Pinterest and on Twitter flying around, and I became a fan just by reading some of his most famous quotes. They were always very autumnal and just cozy, and I really love that. That's really my vibe. But now after reading his book, I'm still a huge fan, but I will say it was quite the struggle to read the book just because of his very poetic way of writing. And as someone who is neurodivergent and really intakes information differently than, I don't know, your average person, it was a little bit hard to keep up. I had to kind of double take and read some lines a few times in order for me to really comprehend what he was trying to say, because he was expressing it in a very poetic, descriptive way, which I appreciated to an extent. But after a while, I'm like, okay, I think I can read a quote or two of you, but it was kind of hard reading a whole novel. But I really love the storyline. Creepy circus, some weird stuff going on in the circus, two best friends living in this little cozy town. I loved it. Very autumnal-like. It's literally smack in the middle of Halloween. You just get all the good vibes, especially the way that Ray Bradbury writes. He can get very poetic with very autumnal, scenic descriptions. That is what I really appreciate, because I love poetry, and so anything that really has the essence of poetry, I'm gonna love. But it was kind of hard to read a whole novel that was kind of written in a very poetic way. Nonetheless, I still really much enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars, just because for me personally, it was a little bit hard to understand. For someone else who might not have a problem with reading very elaborate descriptions, I'm sure that you'll love it, especially if you're someone who loves fantasy. So highly recommend this book. This is a 4 stars for me. I don't think I will be reading this again. I will stick to reading Ray Bradbury quotes on Pinterest and call it a day. Before I end this vlog, I do want to share 2 more books that I actually picked up today. I shared on my TBR fall autumn video that I just put up how I wanted to start collecting graphic novels. I don't really have any graphic novels, but I mentioned 2 graphic novels on there that I wanted to pick up, and I believe it's called Mooncake and also Pumpkinheads, that are very cozy for this fall autumn season. So I went to my local bookstore and I could not find them. But I did find 2 other graphic novels, one that I had already been looking for, and another one that I literally found at the bookstore. The first one I want to quickly show you all is this really cute cover. Like, this is a hardcover book. I just love the very simple look to this. I love that this looks like a classic book, like one of those classic novel books. And I love the little illustration. So this is actually a graphic novel. As you can tell from the inside, it's all a graphic novel, and this is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf. I really don't know much, but one of my favorite booktubers recommended this. Oh, I just realized this is an NY Times bestseller. I didn't know that. Okay, but this is a love story between a vampire and a werewolf, which if you watch my last TBR, or my only TBR that I have up on my YouTube channel, then you will know that anything that has to do with vampires, werewolves, goblins, ghosts, witches, that's my jam. That's all me. So I'm excited to read this, and I myself, who is an illustrator, I have to start reading more graphic novels. Like, I have to. I can't believe I don't have that many. So I'm happy that I got Fangs, and this is by Sarah Anderson. For anyone that might be asking, the next graphic novel that I got is called The Dire Days of Willowweep Manor. Look at this really cute book. I am so excited, and it says here, it is a dark and stormy night when Haley sees a young man drowning in the river. Since her great passion is gothic romance novels, she seizes the moment and jumps in to rescue him just like a true heroine. But when she gets him to safety, she finds herself in Willowweep. It certainly looks like the setting of one of her favorite books: a stately manor, a sinister housekeeper, 3 brooding brothers, there's even an invisible ghost. Except Willowweep is not what it seems. Its romantic exterior hides the workings of a pocket universe. The only protection our world has against a great force of penultimate evil, and its defenses are crumbling. Could cruel fate make Haley the heroine that Willowweep needs? Ooh, I love this. I really love this. Like, look at these illustrations. I think this is just so perfect for this fall autumn season. This is just perfect. I am so excited to get to this book. Also, I think it was so cool because these are actually signed editions that were at my local bookstore. See right there? I just thought that was cool. This is like, I don't even have any signed edition books. Like, I don't own any of them, but I thought that was just cool. I guess the author is a local, so that's exciting. So I'm excited to get into this, The Dire Days of Willowweep Manor. I think those are perfect autumnal, cozy, gothic-y, horror-y sort of books for this fall season. Honestly, all I want to read for this fall and autumn season are just cozy, scary books. Fantasy, nonfiction. Like, just give me all of that, please. Give me all of that. I want to thank you all for watching till the very end. Thank you so much. Like I mentioned in my last video, I am such a bookworm, and I've never really shared this about myself, but it's like, how can I not? I am a writer myself, and I am also an illustrator, and so it finally clicked in my brain that, you know, I'm such a bookworm. I should share about books and my passion for books. Let me know if you have ever read Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes, or any of Ray Bradbury's work. I would like to hear your own intake about your experience with reading some of Ray Bradbury's novels. I'm such a huge fan, but like I mentioned, I don't think I'll be reading anything from him anytime soon. Maybe October Country, because those are like short stories. So I'll probably read October Country and just pick it up whenever I feel like it. Anyways, let me know what you're reading. Comment down below. Give me any book suggestions. I love fantasy. I love nonfiction books. I love mystery. I love gothic horror books. I love poetry. Let me know. Comment down below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading vlog. I truly appreciate it. I hope that you found it nice and comforting and cozy. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, friends. Bye.